Hey, what's up? This is Attila, and today I'm gonna be doing something different, something that I've never done before. So first and foremost, I've been meaning to tell you and give you some feedback on how much I appreciate all the good feedbacks and love and support that I've been getting for doing all these Dimebag and Pantera related videos. It's been overwhelming, and I sincerely wanted to thank you guys for those feedbacks. And on the other hand, I would like to push you guys to have questions, anything related to Pantera or Dimes playing, or even, you know, on my musical career, personal stuff, whatever that you might be interested in. Just feel free to leave those questions below all the videos. But I got some, so let's just see some of the questions that you guys have been asking for me. So, numero uno would be, after I'll check in, is that played with the guitar tracks removed, or are you playing over the full song? This one refers to, or I believe refers to how I record and then play over the original song or backing track I make. Most of the times, if I do a playthrough video or solo lesson or whatever, and the playthrough part are usually played over the original song. And what I do there is that I try to find those frequencies where most of the guitars are. It's usually somewhere in between 300 to 500 hertz, and I do a bigger scoop there, and that way my guitar would sit in and could be heard more over the top of the original one. I also started to pan the original ones, I believe, to the right a little bit and mine to the left, and that also helps to have an isolated, more articulate sound of my guitar playing. Sometimes if there's the isolated tracks for the original ones, I record rhythms and I play only my guitars. For example, with the New Levels solo, I did that. And also sometimes I make the full backing track myself. It's a little more rare, but it happens as well. For example, I did one for Hardlines and Sunken Cheeks, Planet Caravan solo, stuff like that. You could probably hear that. Next question, number 2. How about a series on writing new songs or riffs in the style of Pantera when you finish covering their catalog? I don't see anytime soon me finishing the full catalog. There's just so much to cover there. But I like this question because this sounds like a fun challenge to do. Thinking about it, maybe do a collab kind of thing with some other people. Maybe you can have some suggestions on that as well. I would love to hear that. Good suggestion, actually. So thanks for that. Number 3. Okay, so can you please teach some old Pantera, We Will Meet Again, and some Damageplan? Only videos of the plan is from the man himself. Absolutely love the channel. We'll support it to the fullest. Thanks, man. Oh, I forgot to mention the name. So this one is by Jeremy Davis. You'll see the first two, and I'm gonna be telling the names as well. This is new for me. Okay, so regarding old Pantera songs, referring, I believe, the ones that are that were released before the Cowboys era and Damageplans, these sort of questions come up quite oftenly. The thing is that there's just so many songs from the Cowboys to the Reinventing the Steel area. I would much rather cover those. Although I did I did 1 or 2 Damageplans, I believe. Link them up here, and I actually am planning to do some from the old catalog as well. I don't know when, but eventually. Let's see the next one. Okay, it's from Jack S. Hey man, great cover, sounds spot on. Just wondering what gauge strings you use for D standard. Okay, so I made a full video in which I talk about all the tunings from the Cowboys from Hell album to the Reinventing the Steel. And in the description of that video, you can actually see a list of all the songs, all the tunings. It's very articulate, very easy to understand, and you'll find all the songs there. And if not, just let me know. And I also talk about the string gauge, I believe, in that video, but just to make it sure, for D standard, which is I refer to the 425 Hz D standard in Pantera, I use 10 to 52s or nibble slinkies, which is a hybrid set. That's been working out really well for me. Although I read somewhere, and it makes a lot of sense, that Dime used to use, at least for the earlier major record label Pantera era, 9 to 46s, even for the D standard, for his playing, for his style. It makes kind of sense, because I don't think Dime was a really heavy picker, except for just certain parts. Most of the time, the dynamic that he had, he was giving it with angling the pick from more parallel to less parallel, with bigger angle. The bigger the angle is, the more dynamic and heavier it sounds. Okay, so I went a little far from the questions, but I think it relates really well. And for E standard, I use 9 to 46s. Number 5, Andrei Hovronin. Sorry for the pronunciation. Very cool, please teach me how to make dive bombs. You have such juicy sounds. Show me how to set up the Floyd. Is it true that the spring is put in the Floyd? Thanks, Andre. I actually did a full video, check it out here, on how I go about the dive bombs or the juicy sounds. Thank you very much. How to set up the Floyd. Okay, so this relates very well to how to make the dive bombs. The higher the action is, the easier it is to make these dive bombs. So if it's too low, the action, there's a chance that when you pull the strings or push it, so just stretch the strings, that the strings can touch the fretboard, the frets themselves, and then it will die out. So you have to have a certain amount of action, or just a well set up guitar is a gigantic help for this one, for sure. So the spring put in between the Floyd. If you have the spring noise, it is a very good solution to do that. So sometimes I did napkins, and some other times I did some other material. The only thing that you have to focus on is that too much stuff there, then there's the chance that wherever you loosen the strings or stress the strings, that the Floyd can sit there and wouldn't go back. So make sure that it's not too much and it goes back to its original position. Question number 6. Felipe Lima. Hey Attila, do you mind show us your pedals, setup, tune, please mate? Take care. This is another question that's been coming up every once in a while, and I'm actually planning and meaning to do videos on the guitars I have and use, and also for the other setup gear related. Thing is that I'm really not that much, as you could probably tell, a content maker like this, so this is very new to me. So far it's actually enjoyable because it's new, but there's some technical difficulties to make such a video on a level that I would be satisfied with. So that's why I keep postponing it. But yeah, I hear you guys, and I will do something like this, because there's some tricks that I've learned over the years that would help you to achieve a similar sound of Dimes. Just in advance, a little more information. It's not only the pedals and the gear. I also do some after work when I do the mixes, and I scoop out some frequencies that would help achieve a sound like that. And it's usually around 1100 hertz where I scoop it out, and also I try to add more around 300 to 500, 400 maybe, or even sometimes lower. That is also a place where Dime had a lot of his low mid EQs up higher. But I'll try to do this sooner than later. Okie dokie, so number 7, that would be Dr. Drift. Hey there, Mr. Shredosaurus. You do a damn fine job for sure, tone and all, but as I listen to the passing of each note in the solo, I notice that it feels like you're not trying to murder the guitar. Dime sounds like he wants to kill it, and burn the world in every note. You need more aggression in each and every note. Dime had pain and frustration in him, something he only seemed to let loose on his guitar. Dig deep, find some trauma, some reason, some pain, and then rip that fucking solo and see what happens. Okay, thing is that, as I mentioned a little earlier, I don't think Dime was such a heavy picker. Although I really understand and I agree what Dr. Drift is saying here, that Dime really meant every note that he did. And I want to believe that whenever I play, especially live, I do the same. I grew up listening to him and others that are like that. So to me, playing guitar, especially heavy music like this, especially Pantera, is a way of channeling energies, frustration, trauma, whatever you can name it. I agree that if you play such music, you have to put your soul in it. So, well said. Number 8, that would be Darlock. I always wondered, with your level and experience of playing, how does it feel to play Pantera covers? Yeah, so I remember crystal clear of our first show that we did with my previous PanterA tribute band called Remembering the Still. We had like 6 rehearsals, which were already like the best rehearsals I've had up until that time, but maybe even ever since. It's like we're very high up on the top. And then when we did our first ever show where I get to play PanterA covers, it was just something that I've always wanted to do, and to me it's just, I feel probably the best playing PanterA songs live. So much fun, and it's not about the experience. Like some years ago, even a couple of years ago, I don't think I played it with that much details and that close where I am now. I mean, I could never be really there where Dime was, because it's untouchable. But you know, I'm getting very close. I feel that. But yeah, even without the experience, it was just so much fun, man. Okie dokie. Number 9. Berkay Akdag. Or Berkay Akdag. Sorry, man, probably. So, you're not running anywhere, Attila. I've been waiting for the Hardline Sunken Cheeks solo for almost 2 years now. Wow. Calm down, man. I hear you. And probably the most frequently asked questions are related to the Hardlines and Sunken Cheeks solo lesson. Because the solo I did, and also I did a full playthrough for the song, check that out. But I haven't done the solo part yet. So at the time when I did that playthrough video, I mean, at the end of the day, I set the bar a really high standard for me to playing these videos and make the lessons as close and as detailed as possible. On the other hand, there's not much freshness and there's challenge, but not new kind of challenges making these videos. And also, in particular, this one, Hardlines, is such a personal favorite of mine that whenever I do, I want to do it really, really well. And that takes a lot of energy and a lot of effort. But on the other hand, it's not that big of a challenge. But I will do it. I hear you guys. This was one of them, and also Sleep, because there's like almost the same amount of feedbacks on these 2 songs. So you tell me which one you wanna hear first. The one that gets the more comment below in this video will be made sooner. So leave guys a comment or a vote on which song you wanna hear first or listen to. Oh, Ukuleles Neto. Amazing as always, bro, but you should play the solo without the original one at background. We'd love to hear your playing clearly. I actually uploaded 1 or 2 songs with only my isolated playing, although I only shared that with my patrons. But yeah, this is really cool, and I hear you. If I were you, and if I would see someone else doing such lessons, I would definitely want to hear the isolated tracks. I'll keep that in mind, and I'll probably do more of these in the future. So yeah, and that was the last one for today. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know what to expect from doing these videos. I don't even know how to name this this segment, this new series. Maybe just ask me anything or something like that. You could help me out giving a name. And I would also like to ask you guys to have more questions, not only below this video, but in future videos. That was it for today. I hope that you enjoyed this new, more personal, more into your face kind of connection. I will definitely do more of these. Just make sure that you leave more questions. I want to help and I want to give back. So feel free to leave your questions, and I would love to answer them. So yeah, that's enough for today, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Ciao.